Here we are on a Wednesday morning to do another of the top 10 of the coral series. Today we are doing number 9. Eli and I decided on the purple/blue stylo. You might be surprised we're doing an SPS on this list, but it is a beginner's coral list. It's probably the first beginner SPS coral you're going to do. A lot of people will do Monty caps. I personally feel the purple stylo is A, more rewarding, and B, a little bit easier to do than the Monty cap is. Here's Eli to explain some more. Have a good day, guys. See you next week.
Thanks for the intro, Ernie, and welcome to our number 9 on the top 10 beginner corals list. Today, as Ernie just described, we are talking purple stylo. This is an SPS coral, which generally tend to be a little bit more difficult than, say, LPS or soft corals. SPS are not necessarily one of the first corals that we will recommend to a beginner, but purple stylo happens to be the most popular beginner SPS coral that we sell in the shop. For this reason, we placed it at number 9 because it's not necessarily the easiest. Definitely needs more stable tanks. I would say a well-aged tank is definitely a requirement, and stable salinity, alkalinity, calcium, and trace elements are definitely a must to keep these corals, just because they do come from a lot more stable environments in the wild, and they are a little bit more picky than, say, some of your soft corals would be. Purple stylo is really cool though. One of the easiest SPS, grows in a branching form, so kind of similar to a lot of Montes or acropores that you might see out there, but they're just not nearly as demanding of corals as those genuses would be. They're also pretty cool in terms of their color form. The purple is just a really neat addition, especially if you run a lot of whites in your tank for lighting. It pops very well, and it's kind of a harder color to come by in a lot of corals. You don't usually see blue or purple corals in other species, so the stylo kind of fills this neat color gap. As for care of this coral, it generally prefers to be placed somewhere higher up in the tank with a more intense lighting and a good amount of flow. Again, it also needs pretty stable alkalinity, calcium, salinity, and temperature, just to make sure that all these requirements are met for its growth. It should be quite a quickly growing coral in comparison to some others. As long as all of its requirements are met, it'll grow pretty drastically over just a couple months' time. Purple stylo is also a very easy coral to propagate. If it does come time to trimming it, you can basically snap off branches with a pair of bone cutters and just glue them down to new frag plugs, and they usually take pretty well, and they're just very easy to transport, being just basically little stalks. Join us next week where we will uncover what is number 8 on our top 10 beginners corals list, and thank you for watching.